This is the Tunecreators Artists Spotlight.
Baby.
What's one album that you really like that you think every artist needs to listen to?
I'm a bit spiritual, so I've been listening to Jonathan McReynolds. His newest album called People has helped me so much. That is the album that people just need to just listen to. Even if you're like not going through something, just sit down and listen to it. Ugh, it'll help you out so much. For real.
That is very interesting because when you say it's helped you out, that is, I really like that because of it gives function to music or to art, if that makes sense. You know, so I really like that, and it's something I'm trying to get more musicians to do. You know, use your music to help people. So I really like that. I'm gonna definitely check out that one. Yeah, wow,
you need to.
Definitely. And okay, let's talk more about you. Because this is where I get to know we get to know the person behind the music. So tell me, where are you originally from?
I'm from Queens, New York.
Nice. Now, is that where you were born and raised?
Yes. Yes.
Nice. So I'm gonna guess that you've got the Queen's accent. Is that what that is?
I don't know if I have an accent. To me, I talk regular, but
okay.
You know.
I've never been to Queens, so I would have no clues anyway.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from. I'm currently based in Leicester, in the UK.
Oh wow!
Yeah, originally from Nigeria. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But yeah, not a Nigerian prince, but you know that. All right. So, and do you come from a musical family?
No, actually, my mother just listens to music. That's about it. Like when I grew up, she would play a lot of old tunes, and that's what kind of got me into the love of music. But then, even from when I was younger, I was very involved in a lot of activities. So I was in dancing, acting, doing musicals, singing. I was very like active when I was younger, but coming from a musical background, no, not technically.
Interesting. And when did you first get into music, or when did you decide, yeah, this is something I want to do?
To take it seriously, probably like around 20. When did I drop my album? I dropped my album 2018. So I'll say probably like 2 years. 2 years prior to that, I was like, I think I really want to try and make a career out of this. But then I became lazy, like right after high school and stuff. I became really lazy. And then I met my boyfriend, who was my producer. We started to post covers, and then we just, kind of like took off in that direction. So once I dropped my album, titled "Happened for a Reason," I was like, "Oh, I like this. I'm gonna, I was like, I'm gonna definitely keep doing it." But with the recent singles and stuff I've been releasing, I've been connecting with more people. So that's how I know I really do want to do this as a career, and I want to touch people's souls with my music. I want them to really resonate with what I'm saying and connect to it.
I like that. Like we were talking about before we started recording, and actually we're talking about when we talked about your album. It's all about helping people with your music, isn't it? And and I like how you say you want people to connect with it. Are you specifically talking about using your music to help people get through stuff they're struggling with emotionally, or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it could be anything. So like majority of my music resonates on past relationships or things I've went through in my past. So a boy can listen to it and be like, yeah, I feel this about that girl. And a girl can definitely listen to it because I'm a female. So I'd be like, yeah, this man broke my heart. I want people to be able to basically live vicariously through me.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
know, yeah,
Yeah,
you get what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, it's actually a great way to market yourself as an artist because of
Yeah.
then especially if you make music for yourself, if that makes sense. If
Mhm.
you've been through something and then you're trying to help people
Mhm.
go
Yeah.
get past that. So yeah, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
is music something you do full time or is it something you doing on the side?
At the moment, it's on the side. My
Okay,
job, I was let go from my job
okay,
due to this pandemic. But once I am able to make enough money off of music,
you're doing it full time.
no more job. No more job at all.
I know what you mean, and that's the dream, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
to
ultimate goal.
yeah, that's the ultimate goal. Yeah, and it's something I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially with the climate of how do I explain it? Like there's a lot of money at the top and very little money at the bottom. If that makes sense,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's not
It
easy.
is a lot of gatekeepers, people who
Keepers
try
and
to,
yeah.
keep you away from things, but or like if you don't do this for me, you can't get to point A. And I'm not going to do that. I don't think I want to be signed to a label, in all
Hmm.
honesty. I want to try to do this the independent way as long as I can. Like, if as long as I'm
Hmm.
able to fund myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. I really respect that as well because you get to keep all the money, man, and you get to make all the decisions
Yeah,
and everything. So yeah,
exactly. Of
yeah,
course, I'll have to like build a team that I really
yeah,
trust,
yeah.
but basically signing your life away to a label, it's not worth it unless you find a really good label who believes in your artistry and not just the money you can bring to the table for them.
Yes, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
That's gonna be challenging though, but yeah, that
I know.
is the way to go. I was gonna ask though, but you've talked about it a little bit. One challenge that a lot of new artists struggle with is finding the time to make music. Yeah,
Hmm.
obviously now you're not working as much, but when you were working, how did you create time to make music?
I had a set schedule, so it was like a second job in a way.
Mm,
But then it made it kind of less fun. So I
mm,
had to sort of take that schedule out because it was like I was working a basic 9 to 5. And then on certain days, those were the days where I would have like, okay, I'm going to work on music from this time to this time. But then what if I had a writer's block during that time? Then I didn't get anything done. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
sort of like changed it to where it's more or less when you feel the need to write music, Cerise, that's when you sit down and you write music. And that's when my best songs come out.
Yeah, it does help that you've got a producer on your team and he's your boyfriend. So,
Yeah.
do you guys have like a studio and you could just jump into the studio and just make a track every time? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have one at my house.
Yeah, I always encourage like artists. You need like your home office, and as an artist,
Hmm.
your home office is should be your studio. So yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Ah, so cool, so cool. All right, now let's talk about let's talk about your music though, and how would you describe the kind of music you make?
I make, you can say it's a mixture of regular R&B with
Mm,
like a 90s vibe to it
mm.
and a 2000s vibe because I'm a 97 baby. That's the year I was born. So now you probably know my age, but I was like in that era where real R&B music was coming. Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah,
So I sort of like
yeah.
incorporated both, like so from the
Okay.
90s music and the early 2000s.
That was the shit, isn't it? When they were
Yeah.
making, that was when R&B was. They don't make it like that anymore, man. I don't
No,
know.
everyone likes to sound the same now, and that's not
Yeah,
me.
yeah. What happened to you guys over there? I mean, there was a time New York was. We were looking up to New York for everything, like even but in rap, even in R&B to an extent. Like basically, music was from New York. But what happened actually? Why did it become this mess that it is?
I have no clue. What it is everyone is trying to market themselves to where these labels will,
Uh,
like I said previously, the labels, they're all about the money. How much money can you bring in? If they see that this specific sound, so let's just say Janina Aiko, um, she has a very distinctive sound.
so,
So if they find another artist that sounds as similar to her but has a slight difference, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we're taking her," but they're not gonna take someone else who can really sing. They want that
mm,
person who has that it factor, because
mm,
everyone knows Janina Aiko. They love her music. You know what I mean? People market more towards those type of genres, the
mm.
money making genres, instead of looking for artists who are truly themselves.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like I could
Yeah.
see why labels do that from a business perspective. Basically, they've seen something
Yeah.
that works, and then they're just gonna
Hmm.
stick to that.
Stick
Uh,
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the challenge with music, and it's difficult to find something that works, because of it's all
Hmm.
art, isn't it? So, but yeah, but I that makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
what you've talked about 90s R&B. I was gonna ask, where do you get your inspiration from? Is that strictly where you get your inspiration from old
Yeah,
tracks?
it's a mixture. I tend to listen to a lot of 1990s, so like not just the late 90s, but like sometimes
Before
early
that,
as
okay,
well.
okay.
Yeah, so like 1990s R&B, definitely early 2000s. Some artists I like sort of listen to and look for inspiration, some new ones. Have you ever heard of Kiana Lede?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Oh my God, what? She is a beast. Okay, what about
No.
Chloe and Halle?
Nope. I've never.
Oh my God.
you're gonna have to send me some links, so I can check them out. Yeah.
That is horrible.
Yeah. I don't
But
I don't listen to the new stuff, but go and tell me more about this guys.
no, but
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so Kiana Lede, she's actually been out for a minute,
Okay.
but she like went, with the whole label situation, she like went kind of under. Then
Okay.
she came back up, but her vocals. So I
Mm.
listened to her for vocal inspiration. Chloe and Halle, they're just amazing overall. I'll let their work speak for themselves, so you
So
can go listen to them. Yeah.
yeah.
And some oldies, I like to listen to some Lauryn Hill, some Sade, Erica
Yeah.
Badu.
Oh
I
yeah.
I listen to
Yeah.
a lot of different people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. That is really really good. And then you get your. This is the good thing about this podcast that you guys are introducing me to so much new music, and my range
Mm,
is has expanded now. Like it's crazy. So
yeah.
thank you for those two. After this, I'm
No
gonna go
problem.
check them out. All right. Another big challenge for new artists is finding people to collaborate with. Is that something you struggle with? And if so, how do you solve that?
Not really. I just
Okay.
more or less I being young and not really knowing my way through the music industry, I did some collaborations previously,
Okay.
and I didn't know really much about what I was getting myself into. But now I'm not looking to do any collaborations, but if I
Hmm.
was, then I would probably know how to move a little bit better about it in a business aspect. That's all we'll say on that. Because it's because a lot of people are weird when it comes to collaborations. They're just weird. So
Huh.
I'm
Do you
gonna
mind
say
me? You
that.
might. I know you said I was gonna fry you more about that, but you said that's all you say about that because you got me curious now. I need to know, like some people are probably listening. Like, okay, what can you tell us about that without going too much in depth? Is that what can you give away?
um.
Yeah.
So, all right. How can I put this? No, I mean, any way I put it, it might like put too much out there, but just like from a business standpoint, some people don't know how to handle business professionally. That if you
Yeah.
know what I mean, then
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah, they
leads to
don't
problems.
want
Yeah,
to.
yeah. It just leads to
Yeah,
problems. I get you. I'm gonna say this to anybody that's listening: always going with a contract that a lawyer has
yeah,
been through. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, I'm gonna put that out there, no matter what. All
yeah,
right,
definitely.
we could now let's talk about your song. I Want You. Really cool song, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. For those of our listeners who haven't listened to it, could you tell us more about the song? What's it about?
Sure. So I Want You is like a regular R&B song, but it has a dark melody behind it.
Mm,
And it's more or less about telling the person you want them, and they're playing hard to get. So you guys were like vibing on good terms,
yeah.
and all of a sudden they sort of distance themselves away instead of coming closer to you. They're like, you know what, let me pull away from this person. But you like, nah, I don't want you to pull away. I want you to come closer to me.
Come
I
to,
want you to let me know the real you. You know what I mean?
hmm.
So I Want You is not your regular modern day love song, but it is a love song.
I like the concept though. This is another thing I really like about what some I guess indies and upcoming artists are more they're more flexible and more how to explain they're more they could try new stuff versus the mainstream
Hmm.
guys who are limited to. So I really like that concept of it's not your regular I love you, I want you kind of track. Is there's some it's deeper than
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's deep. Is that something
yeah,
that happened?
definitely.
Yeah, is that something that came from real life experience or is it just something you I thought
Yeah,
so.
me and my boyfriend wrote it together, and
Okay.
it was based off of our relationship. So there was a point in
Mm-hmm.
time where I wanted I wanted more than he was giving at the time.
Mm,
And then he had different aspects, from his point of view as well. So we like merged together.
mm.
He put his point of view in it, I put my point of view, and my baby came out.
I like how you call it your baby. You're
Yeah.
super passionate about your music. I love that. That's so
Yes.
good. Really good, really good. And what is it? You've given us a little bit about how you wrote the song because that was going to be my next question. But
Oh, okay. um,
yeah,
so
typically,
he
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. No, typically, I was going to ask now like a more general question, like what does your songwriting process look like? From how do you go from idea to a finished track?
All right, so usually my boyfriend gives me the beat
Mm,
and I'll come up with a melody. I come up with melodies really easily,
okay.
but the words is usually always the problem. So you can come up with
I
a,
know
a,
the
a really
struggle.
fire
Yeah.
melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come up with a really fire melody like a ah, ah, right? Now you gotta sit here and think, okay, what words can sound good going in that way? So you might have to
Uh,
manipulate the melody, you
stuff.
might have to
Yeah.
manipulate the words. It's a long process, but once I'm in that zone, that songwriting zone, is no taking me out. It's just like leave me alone for like 30 minutes. I usually finish a song within like 30 minutes.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's so cool. For me, it could take me a year to come up with the, with
Are you serious?
the
So that means you gotta
yeah,
find
yeah,
that right track for you. Cause
yeah.
if
You're
you get that
spot
right
on.
track,
You
yeah.
are spot on because there's some beats like I make that boom.
Yeah,
I just come up with with everything in a go. But to sit down
exactly.
right I'm with you. I could come up with a melody really quickly, but it
Mm.
takes forever to write. In fact, I've got some songs from 10 years ago that I haven't finished till now. But but yeah, I totally understand that. That's so cool. And what would you say if you've talked about it a little bit? I was gonna ask what is the most challenging part about making your track. What do you find really? What do you struggle with? I mean, you've talked about lyrically, but is there any other thing you find really difficult about
well,
writing a song?
I do encounter writer's block a lot.
Huh.
So like I'll be like mid chorus, let's just say, and then a thousand other things will come to my mind to where I'll forget what the concept was of the song. So I gotta sit here and be like, all right, what was the point of me making this song? And sometimes I may go back to it, I may not. So that's why
Okay.
when I said like if I'm in that zone, I can finish the song within 30 minutes or less. But if I'm not really in that musical zone where I really feel like completing a song, I just will leave it and come back to it and then finish it whenever.
Yeah. 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 It makes sense. It makes sense. And I can totally relate to that. Like,
Yeah.
writer's block is a real thing. And yeah, I found like you, like leaving it, just letting it be, maybe give it a couple days or something and
Mhm.
then come back to it. And then you come back with fresh ideas. So,
Yeah,
did you struggle with,
exactly.
yeah, did you struggle with writer's block for this one? I want you.
No, this one was easy
Okay.
because we were living in
It's,
the
yeah.
moment of the relationship at the time. So it
Yeah.
was all my feelings, all his feelings. We just had to sort it out, to where it would flow properly, sound nice to the ear. But the funny thing is, I recorded that song a year ago and
Hmm.
I just put it out.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm like my
Hmm.
worst critic when it comes to stuff like that.
I see. There you go. That's something. That's a real challenge right there. A year
Yeah.
though. Okay. Why a year? Is it you weren't just happy with the final mix, or you just didn't like it? What was the
I
what was?
I honestly didn't like the song itself. I was like, it sounds corny.
Oh
I was
wow.
like, the beat is weird. But that was when I wasn't really listening to my own words and
Hmm.
really resonating with my music. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I get you.
I sort of had detached myself from the song, and I don't know how or why, but I did. And I was just like, I'm not feeling it. But my boyfriend, he was just like, babe, this song is fire. This song is fire. And I'm like, no. I was like, it's something about it that's just not capturing me, you know? So then when it came time to put the song out, because I was just like, oh, I need something to drop. And I already had it. So I was just like, I need something to drop. I want to drop something. And then he's like, I want you. And I was like, okay, let me listen to it. So I listened to it again when I was in a better mind space.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is it. I love this song. It was like a 360.
I could. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. There's. It's good you actually listen to it again because it's a really good song. It's a really good song,
Thank you.
and I can totally see why your boyfriend liked it. And thankfully,
Yeah.
it's a really good song. Which kind of leads me to the next question, which is how you promote it. Do you have a strategy behind how you release songs? Because you just talked about when it's time for me to drop. Is there some strategy you're executing, or is it? Did you just feel like I need to put out a song out there?
Um, at the beginning, I didn't really know what I was doing when it comes into terms of promotion,
Hmm.
but I learned along the way. So I see that people, and this is for anyone who's listening, that's an artist, people gravitate more towards visuals. So I don't know if you happen to see the quarantine style video that I made.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that, yeah, yeah.
That made the song do 10 times better than any of my other music. And that's because people have a visual to put behind
The
the
track, yeah,
words.
yeah.
Yeah, and they
Mm.
were like, "Oh my god, this is so creative." And and I definitely was like, "Okay, so now I get it. Now I see why all these some of these trash people that are out there. I see why they like take off because sometimes their visuals make the boost for the song.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
people are like, oh, you know what? I actually do like this song. And
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, I
yeah.
was talking about this with one of my friends, artist friends. I was talking about Michael Jackson back in the day, even that era, where the
Yeah.
music video was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was
Huge deal.
exactly, it was an experience. People are
Mm-hmm.
missing a lot of that
Excuse
now.
me.
Yeah, it's fine. A lot of that now is missing right now in music. There's a lot of, I feel there's a lot of storytelling missing in music right
Mm-hmm.
now as well. So where something could captivate you, and that is totally makes sense what you're saying. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting. And how do you intend to promote the song besides putting out a video? What kinds of stuff are you doing to promote it?
Well, I definitely reached out to a lot of blogs. I've been doing a lot of interviews talking about the song. So my song has like done so well in South Africa.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Wow.
I did two interviews prior to this one, and they were both based in South Africa.
Oh wow. Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, I feel so loved, so good.
How did it get to South Africa? Have you got links with South Africa or something?
No, no. It's all,
Oh.
with Instagram ads, Facebook
Oh.
ads. You run
Mm.
the business aspect of things,
Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
make sure you putting it in front of the people who are actually gonna listen to your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to promote it in my area, which people in New York, and it's a known fact, people in New York, they tend to support popularity more than talent.
Hmm.
So if I don't have, let's just say 10,000, 15,000 followers, not a lot of people in New York are going to really support me until they see other people supporting me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I try to market myself in the best way possible. That way is just like I can grow in each aspect of the world, and then everyone comes together collectively and just loves me.
Oh good, yeah, it does make sense. It makes really big sense. I can see, and it's human nature, but I can see why they can be like that in New York, because of this is
Mhm.
our struggle as indies. Like you're not big enough to warrant some people's time. Big enough,
Yeah.
and then they don't even give you that attention. But it's a
No.
challenge. It's a real challenge. But you said something that really caught my attention. You said place the ads in front of people that will listen to it. I know
Yeah.
I know Facebook ads is technical, so I don't want to. We're not even going to go into that. But but how do you find what's your criteria for finding people that will listen to your track?
So there's this thing on Instagram and Facebook. I just started using the ads on Facebook, but
Okay.
Instagram, your insights or
Oh
analysis.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
look at
yeah.
where people are tuning in at the most. So
Hmm.
for me, it was South Africa without promotions. This is more or less just people finding
Hmm.
my stuff. South
Okay.
Africa, United States, of course, United Kingdom. So when you said that about you, that's I was like, United Kingdom. I even got some people in China,
Hmm.
Canada, like everywhere. But wherever the numbers are more, that's where I promote it even
Hmm.
more. I'm just like, all right, let me push it more towards them, and it definitely helps like tremendously. So I learned a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's so cool. Look at you being a record label exec. Yeah. Of your label. That's so cool. That's really, really cool. I'm not surprised the song is doing. The song is really good, and your style. I really like your style. It's really good. Yeah. Okay, now we've come to the end of an awesome chat. Truly enjoyed this. At this stage, I like to ask, what is next for you? Obviously, I'm guessing you're gonna be dropping another album, EP, something like that.
An EP, yes, soon, but
Mhm.
I'm in the works of about to release one more single
Okay.
before I, drop an EP or an album. I haven't decided yet because I still have a lot of songs that I have not recorded yet that could potentially go all together.
Okay.
But in terms of songs that are ready to go, I have this single called Own, and I'm just deciding on when I'm gonna make the music video and when I'm gonna drop it.
What's this song
But that's gonna
about?
be soon.
Yeah.
You want
Give
the tea?
us, yeah, give us a tease of the track. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Own is, let me see, I gotta try and think because I made all of these songs, like I said, ago.
Yeah.
But Own is more or less. I gotta try to say. Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Own is about finding your self worth. So I wrote this song
Ah.
based off of me getting cheated on.
Ah.
So I
Hmm.
was just like, you know what? I'm about to say a bad word. Motherfucker. Oh shit. Whatever. I don't need
You
you,
can.
basically. I don't need you,
Okay.
motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my life. Type of shit. That's honestly what it was.
Wow, that sounds
No
deep.
cursing though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not on the track, you mean? Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah. I don't like to
okay,
curse in my music, more or less
uh,
because I like a wide variety of audiences.
okay, that's cool. That's your brand, and I like that. Awesome,
Hmm.
awesome, Cherise. Awesome. All right, then. At this stage, my next question for you, before we let you go, what's one you've given
Okay.
some really, really awesome tips? I mean, your tip, your Instagram insight. I'm stealing that one. Definitely. I know
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of people are.
definitely, definitely.
But if you could share one piece of advice with a new artist just beginning their own journey, what would that be?
To chase after your dreams and to not let anyone tell you different. So if you want to be a musician, a dancer, a writer, anything that you want to be, set your mind to it, do what you have to do to get to that goal, and don't stop no matter what anyone tells you, because it's your life that you have to live, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
That is powerful stuff. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cherise, for that. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. What's the best way
Well, thank
for,
you.
yeah, what's the best way for anyone listening to check out your music, connect with you, even collaborate with you, even? What's the best way?
Okay. Well, you guys can follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram is the @ sign CERESEEJ, and that is ultimately my username for all platforms. So if you want to
Okay.
listen to my music on Apple Music, Spotify, it's CERESEEJ, and my name is pronounced Ceresee J.
What? Baby.